The Orange and Blue Network had a scheduled release earlier in the offseason, but since OTAs is over, mandatory minicamp is over, and the addition of J.K. Dobbins, I decided let's go back down the schedule and see if we can get a new record prediction. If any games that we're going to be close, that we're worried about, turns into wins, or any games that we think we're going to be blowouts turn out to be closer. Also, today we're going to be going over the travel itinerary. What games are we going to go to at the Orange and Blue Network? What games am I going to go to? And what games, are you guys going to go to? That's what we are here to discuss today on the Orange and Blue, another episode of Orange and Blue Blitz.
Tune in, now it's time to sit. Orange and blue, we never quit. Broncos Country lit legit. Every week we're bringing grit. Orange and blue, we bring the heat. Podcast grinding can't be beat. Every play, every stop we meet. Blitz so hard it's on repeat. Mile high dreams we elevate. Break it down, we narrate. From the field to the fan debate. Broncos Country, we dominate. We got the passion, we got the drive. Orange and blue keeps us alive. Every tackle, every stride. It's the Blitz where legends thrive.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to another episode of Orange and Blue Blitz, brought to you by the Orange and Blue Network and in partnership with MHRT. I hope you guys had an excellent weekend. I actually had a pretty good weekend. Yesterday, my days off are yesterday and today. So yesterday I went to church and then I went fishing. I decided to go fishing again, but it was interesting. Yesterday, I had so I got back from church. I went home to go change. I left my car running, but with my car, you can't start it without the keys. But if you leave it running, you can drive it. So I get home, I change, and I run to the house. I get in my car, and I immediately go to the lake, which is 3 minutes away from me. And trying to rush because it had been raining on and off, and I wanted to get out there and get some type of fishing done before all the rain. So I got out there. I get down to my spot right as I'm getting ready to fish. I realized, okay, I don't have my keys. So let me go up there back to my car so I can grab my keys. So I'm searching around. I cannot find my keys. So I get in the car and I try and start the car. The car doesn't start. So it tells me my keys aren't in my car. So my keys are at home, at the house. And so where the lake is out here in Tennessee is you drive and then there's woods. There's nothing but woods, and then the river and then more woods. Or the lake and then more woods. But there's an area where you can drive all the way around. It's about a 10-minute drive. So you drive all the way around and you get in there, you can park and you can walk down in the woods to the lake. So because I couldn't drive, the quickest way would be to dead reckon, which is to walk straight through the woods. And so I was in the Army for 10 years, so I know how to do land navigation. But I have a couple of ailments and disabilities that make it a little bit harder for me to walk for a longer amount of time. So I'm like, man, I have to walk. So not only do I have to walk through the woods, which is fine because I know how to get to where I'm going. I know the landmarks. But once I get through the woods, I have to walk to my house. So to get to the woods, I think it took me about 30 minutes. So it took me 30 minutes to get to the house, out of the woods, 30 minutes to get to the house. And then I would have grabbed my keys, and I forgot my wallet too, turns out. And then I would have turned back, walked 30 minutes back to the woods, 30 minutes back to my car. So it took me about 2 hours. So I ended up calling a Christian from work, Miss Mary. Shout out to Miss Mary. And I called her, and she was like, "Oh, I'm driving back from church." And I was like, "Hey, I left my keys. So is there any way you can do me a favor?" So she came and picked me up, helped me get my keys, and then dropped me off. So that was wonderful. Then I started fishing, and got tangled up on the wire trying to get it together. Fortunately, there were some gentlemen there. They were to help me. It's been a while since I fished. Once that got going, didn't catch anything. They weren't biting. But I plan on going back today. So it was an interesting day. It was a pretty good day. I still think it was a good day. That didn't run at all. So it was okay. But I was hoping you guys had a good weekend as well. So that's my little story from over the weekend. So, I'm going back for day 2. It's definitely something, a hobby I want to pick up. It's, the lake is right next to me, so there's no excuse for me not to. I have the time to do it, the equipment to do it. Best way to learn is and get better is with practice. So that is how my weekend went. If you guys are here from the Orange and Blue Network, go head over to our partners, MHRT, like their video, subscribe to their channel, and share them with your friends and family. Go ahead and, excuse me, follow them on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. They have all types of videos, all types of live. So you're going to want to hit the notification bell for them as well so you don't miss a show. And if you're here from MHRT, go head over to Orange and Blue Network, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, and everywhere you listen to your favorites, including Spotify. You can find the Orange and Blue Network there as well. And guys, we are brought to you by our sponsor of the show, Dubby. Dubby was formulated to give you focus and energy with no jitters or crash. Because the thing about sugar and the high sugar is you can get anxious, your hands will start shaking, you'll get jittery, you'll be up, and then you'll crash and you'll be tired, you'll be drowsy. And that's not good if you're trying to go through your day, if you're at work or whatever the case may be. Crashing just isn't good. Their formula contains vitamins, amino acids, and nootropics, including the new patented Neuro Factor. It has no calories, no sugar, no maltodextrin, no fillers, and no artificial colors. Remember, guys, that sugar will it'll get you up and then it'll get you to crash. So with no sugar and no calories, it's a pretty good natural energy booster. And guys, when you head on over there, go ahead and type in the code NRWOB10, NRWOB10 for 10% off. And guys, just a reminder, because you're going to want to hit that notification bell Monday through Friday as well. As I told you guys last week, and I'm reminding you guys again this week, for the off season until training camp starts, the Orange and Blue Blitz show will be Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm not going to do 5 days a week during the off season, this transition time. But as soon as training camp jumps back in, we're going to go Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Today's Monday, so we've got Bronco Bros with Dak and his brother today at 6 p.m. Tomorrow, Tuesdays, we got the flagship podcast, Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue, at 7 p.m. Wednesdays at 6 p.m., we have Broncos Talk. And then Fridays at 6 p.m., we have Viva Los Broncos. And you guys are going to want to hit the notification bell because we will be having a show coming in filling that Thursday slot. So we are going to have a show every day of the week except for Saturdays and Sundays. But when the season starts, you guys know on Sundays we have the Get Bucked Game Day show with your host, the Bronco Gentleman, me, along with the Mile High Viking Johnny, and you have the Buck Your Feelings post-game show with your host, Jay, the Denver Dreamweaver, with the Mile High Viking Johnny. So you guys are going to want to hit that notification bell. Let's get to the comment section. I believe I saw a Raiders fan. He says, Chewy's NFL News and Podcast. What's good, brother? Shout out. Mile High salute. He said, I have you guys snatching the division this year. That's interesting you say that because we're going to go over a record prediction with the addition of J.K. Dobbins. We're also going to go over our travel itinerary this year. And Lord willing, I plan on catching a Broncos game in Vegas. So we'll probably see you there. Paul Schaefer says, I predict we break the sack record this year. The NFL sack record? That means if we break the NFL sack record, that means we break our franchise sack record 2 years in a row. But, guys, we're going to go ahead and get down to business. All right. We have the schedule on the screen. So, I believe the Orange and Blue Network did our schedule prediction before OTAs and before mandatory minicamp. And I believe at the network, we predicted that we were going to go, I think it's anywhere between 11-6 and 13-4. I can't remember specifically. but that was after free agency. That was after the draft, but that was before we signed J.K. Dobbins. That's before Talanoa Hufanga was healthy. That was before Evan Ingram was healthy. And so now we're going to go back and we're going to do a new record prediction. But in addition, while we have the schedule up on here, we're also going to go over the orange and blue. At least we're going to go over the Bronco Gentlemen's travel itinerary. So I'm going to talk about, after the record prediction, what games I plan on going to, and then hopefully you guys in the comment section can let me know if you're going to these games. You can DM me at Bronco Gentlemen. Let me know if you're going to the games, or you can DM Johnny, Jay. Let us know. But hopefully I'm going to put a message out to the rest of the network that for this week, and at least for this week, and then sporadically throughout the offseason, kind of remind you guys the travel itinerary, kind of put it out there, because we definitely want to link up with you guys, and we definitely want to hang out and actually put the word network in Orange and Blue Network, funny enough. But so here we've got the schedule. So in the preseason, we're playing all NFC teams. That makes sense. We don't want to play anybody in the conference. So we've got a joint practice against the Niners. I believe we have a joint practice against the Cardinals as well. So that's the preseason. Then we play the Saints. So NFC West, 2 teams in NFC West, and then 1 team in the NFC South. That should be a good – these preseason games are going to be very interesting because that's where we're going to really get to see R.J. Harvey and see all the guys. But we get to see our depth, R.J. Harvey, Jahdae Barron. We get to see Pat Bryant, maybe a little bit of Caleb Lohner, see Tyler Bidet, see more of these guys. So that's going to be very, very, very good. All right, so then we get to the regular season. So we got week 1, week 2. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get me a win column, get me an L column. All right, so we got Tennessee Titans. Cam Ward in his rookie debut, the number 1 overall pick, is playing in Denver, the opening, and that we're projected to have the number 1 defense. Our entire team will come back healthy for training camp, except for A.T. Perry. So that means Alex Singleton, Dre Greenlaw, all of the guys will be fully healthy, so we get to see the full team. Now, Cam Ward, I'm starting to think Cam Ward's attitude and personality is what they said Shador was. There's something off about him. A little weird, but I think we get that win. All right. Then we go to Indianapolis. I think Daniel Jones is the starter. Anthony Richardson is going to miss some time. He's going to get some more time for that shoulder again. I think they have a good defense, pretty good offensive line, good run game. Daniel Jones learning a new offense, so they will be better. I just think we start off fast. We start off hot. I think our defense would be too good for their offense, and I think our offense would be too good for their defense. So I've got us starting off 2-0 this season. 2-0 this season. Now, let's might as well. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in you know what? Another show this week will probably we'll probably go through the schedule and do a score prediction. And then we'll probably do another one where we'll do stat prediction. So we'll probably break that up 1 week. So this week will be record prediction. Next week will be score prediction. The week after that will be stat prediction. So we'll keep going through the schedule over and over again. And we'll keep a note of these so that way we'll see how close we are and how right we are over here at the Orange and Blue Network. All right, week 3. So we're on the road to Indianapolis, and then we're on the road to Los Angeles. My hometown, I think we beat the Chargers this year. I think we want revenge for last year. We got swept by them. I don't think we're going to, the only other team in the way of winning the West is the Chargers and the Chiefs. And I don't think Sean Payton I don't think Bo Nix and Sean Payton start off with a losing streak to a division rival. I know that the Chargers beefed up their run game, which they wanted to. They got Mekhi Becton, who's a gigantic pulling guard. So they beefed up that interior offensive line. Their tackles are good. So they got Najee Harris and Omarion Hampton, so their run game is going to be pretty good. Lab McConkey, they got Trey Harris, who's a rookie, and then they got Mike Williams. So they got a good tight end. So they're pretty well rounded, pretty decent. But I think that our defense is better than our defense, and I think our offense would be better than our offense. They didn't really do much on defense changing because they were a good defense last year. But I think that we have tape on their defense and they didn't change. Whereas people have tape on our defense, but we added some things. So I'm going to go 3-0. I think we start 3-0. All right. Then we come back home and we play Cincinnati. Another revenge game. I think the Bengals are an awful organization. I think their offense is great, but I think our defense is better this year. And I think we really built our defense around games like week 3 and week 4. I think we got guys like Talanoa Hufanga who can stop the run. And I think we got guys like and Dre Greenlaw who can stop the run as well. And I think we got guys like Jahdae Barron and Talanoa Hufanga for games like against Cincinnati. So I think we got Talanoa Hufanga and Dre Greenlaw for the Chargers for games like against the Chargers, and we got guys like Jahdae Barron for the Bengals. And I think we put that to fruition. I think we start off 4-0. I think the Bengals don't have a good defense, and I think our defense is going to be able to stop Cincinnati a couple times like we did, but this time our offense is going to stay on the field a little bit longer. And also, hey, week 3 is the J.K. Dobbins revenge game. I forgot about that. Week 3 is the J.K. Dobbins revenge game. Hey, and that's why we're going to have the stat week. We're going to go through the schedule and predict the stats. And that's the J.K. Dobbins revenge week. So I think we get that win against the Chargers in week 3. And I think we get revenge with Jahdae Barron week 4. I think their defense, Trey Hendrickson, may be there. He may not. He may be playing. He may not. So we're going to have to see with that. Their rookies having issues with that, so he's not getting any practice. He's not getting any reps. So there's that. So I got it starting 4-0. All right. Now we have the Philadelphia Eagles. Now we've got the Philadelphia Eagles. Thanks, Johnny. Okay. Orange and Blue Network predicted 13-4 in our schedule release mega show. Okay. And then Paul Schaefer clarified, he said the NFL sack record. What is that number? Paul, let me know what that number was. I remember looking it up, but forgetting. Let me know what the NFL sack record is. All right, week 5, we go to Philadelphia. I think this game will be the battle of the unbeatens. I think the Broncos will be 4-0, and I think the Eagles will be 4-0. But I think the Eagles, the Super Bowl champs, have a lot of guys coming back. I think by this time they would have meshed. The Broncos going in there and starting 5-0 will be an upset. But I think the Eagles. I don't want to give the score prediction because next week is score prediction. This week is record prediction. Next week is score prediction. Johnny, I hope you're listening. So when you ask me for what's Monday's schedule, I'm going to say, hey, score prediction. I'm sorry. Yeah. Score prediction. But I think that's going to be our first loss of the season. I think it's going to be a close one, but score prediction next week. Okay, so now we travel across seas. We were playing in London. Yes, London. At Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against the Jets. Now, Aaron and Glenn is from the Sean Payton tree, who comes under Dan Campbell, who was also from the Sean Payton tree. As we talked about on the show before, this last offseason of hirings was about culture. So they got front office and coaches from the Broncos and the Lions who were both from the Sean Payton tree. Change of culture. The New York Jets, their culture has changed. Their culture will change. I think the Jets are a team that can finish 500 or just above it. I think they can go 8-9, 9-9, somewhere around there. Because I think they put their confidence in Justin Fields. They said, hey, you haven't had a team put their complete and total confidence in you. We're going to pay you like a team that has confidence in you. So we're going to give you 2 years. You reunited with your number one receiver, with your receiver from college. You guys know each other well. They have a all right offensive line, a good defense. So I think they're going to be better this year. I just think the Broncos are past that. I think this is going to be another win in London. So I have us at 5-1 going to week 7. All right, we're one of the top 5 teams in the NFL. Okay, so we're coming back. We didn't get the bye, but we're coming home. And this is going to be a tough, and everybody says it, a tough drag-out, knockout game. That Giants defense and defensive line is nothing to laugh at. Darius Slayton, good receiver. Malik Neighbors, good receiver. Now, we know Russell Wilson. The question is Russell Wilson the quarterback at that time? It's either Russell Wilson or Jackson Dart. But if Russell Wilson's the quarterback at week 7 with that good defense, we know he can only throw on the boundary. So we know the defense to run against him. That offensive line may not be good. So I think our defense, I think we start off slow, but I think our team rallies, because I'm not just going to say our defense carries the game, because our offense is just as good too. But I think we start off slow with this because we're a little bit tired. It's a short week for us. We have to fly back. So maybe a little bit jet lagged. You didn't do as much, but hey, we're at home. I don't think the offense or defense carries this game. I think the fans at home carry this game in week 7. So I'm going to go ahead and give us a win. I got us at 6-1. Let's see. Paul Schaefer says 73. Oh, 73 is the record. We're 10 off, and JK is very bitter. I had a question. I want you guys to explain to me in the chat. So people didn't. Now, that tender that the Chargers put on them, the people said that was weird. Was that did the Chargers put that on them? Did that make it harder for teams to pursue JK? And is that why JK's bitter and said it was weird? Or why was the Chargers did kind of weird? Why did they kind of shank JK? Was it to get him to stay in there and then go 3 backs? Or what was the case? Why is he bitter against the Chargers? And if the 73, I think I always say Nick Benito didn't start a full season. This would be his first season starting. Can our defensive line take even a bigger step? Our secondary is better. So I think, breaking the 73 sack record, I think it's possible. It's possible. Johnny says, yeah, but their offense is an effing joke. Yes, I believe he's talking about the Giants, and that's what I was talking about. They've got some good receivers. No run game. Their offense line is and Russell Wilson can only throw to the boundary. D-Rock in the house. What's up, baby? Let's go. Hey, D-Rock. Hey, stick around for the travel itinerary segment because I need to know what games you're going to, as well as you, Paul. I need everybody that's watching. First off, everybody who's watching, like the video, smash that thumbs up, guys. Smash the thumbs up. We got to tweak the algorithm. Smash the thumbs up. Also, I need you guys who are watching, I need y'all to hop in the chat or DM us because when we get to the travel itinerary, we're going to be talking about the games we're going to. And I want to know what games you guys are going to so we can put the network in Orange and Blue Network. See what I did there? All right, back to the schedule. So, I think we get that win. Oof. Dallas Cowboys. We have not lost to the Cowboys in, almost 30 years? And this is a home game? I hate the Cowboys. I think they're a lot better team this year with 2 wide receivers. I'm curious as to how their offensive line is going to get better with losing. What did they lose? 2 Hall of Famers? But one thing that Dallas has always been good at is drafting a Hall of Fame offensive line named Tyler. So they drafted Tyler Booker at guard. They traded for George Pickens. So I think Dallas is definitely going to be competing against the Commanders and the Eagles. But week 8 at home, we haven't lost to the Cowboys in a long time. We don't like the Cowboys. Can we keep that streak going with Sean Payton with their new offensive coordinator? And VJ, I'm going to say that's a win. Right now, we're 7-1, guys. They're talking about us as contenders. At this point in time, they're talking about us like we're contenders, all right? Am I being delusional? Blow me up in the chat. Am I being delusional? Am I being stupid? Where are the losses coming from? All right, week 9, Houston Texans. Now, I originally said that we're going to beat – I think I originally said we were going to lose to the Texans or we might win. It's a coin flip. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. I think the Texans' only weakness is their offensive line. I think their receiver room with Nico Collins, Christian Kirk, and Michi are good, and I think they have the Jalen boys from the J boys from Iowa State. They have really good depth. Their defense is just as good as the Broncos. It's in Houston. I'm going to give us that loss. All right, we're 7-2. So we've lost to the Eagles. We've lost to the Texans. I think we'll see the Texans in the playoffs. All right. D-Rock says we're stellar in November. You say that, but I say we just lost. We just lost to the Raiders, the Texans. I'm sorry. Oh, excuse my. Oh no, we lost to the Texans after coming off the Cowboys. I think that jet lag and that bye week, but we do have 2 home games back to back, so we do get to stay and at home with our family. But I said we lost to the Texans. I hope I'm wrong. Raiders, we play in Denver. That's going to be a win. We are 8-2. I think the Raiders are a much better team. I think the Raiders to me are as good as. I think the Raiders are better than the Jets, but I think the Raiders can beat a team like the Bengals, and I think the Raiders are better than the Colts. That's how much I think the Raiders has jumped. But mainly on offense. Their defense is like the Bengals defense. To me, they kind of remind me of the Bengals. Because guys, the Raiders offense is going to be a top 10 offense. It's going to be a good offense. Geno Smith is a good quarterback. Geno Smith can get a lot of yards. Geno Smith is very accurate. Geno Smith knows Pete Carroll's offense very, very, very well. Very well. The only question is the Raiders' offensive line. The Raiders have Ashton Genty, best running back in the class. The Raiders got Brock Bowers last year, the best tight end in the game last year. And they got a couple good receivers. So the Raiders aren't there yet, but we're not going to smoke them last year. We're not going to smoke them like we did last year, but we will sweep them. So week 10, right now I have us 8-2. Yes, going to week 10, I have us go 8-2, beating the Raiders. Kansas City, November. I have us sweeping the Chiefs this year. 9-2. I think we have the Chiefs number. I think we know Andy Reid very well. I think we know Patrick Mahomes very well. I think there's some questions on that offensive line. I think the receiver core is coming back injured. They're coming back healthy, but they're coming off injury, so there may be some meshing going on. The running game, I think their defenses can be decent. Chris Jones is getting older. Travis Kelce is getting older. They have some guys on both sides of the ball who are getting older, but they sure the hell maximize their Super Bowl window with Patrick Mahomes, which is still open as long as Patrick Mahomes is playing. But I think we have the Chiefs number. All right. Now, we beat the Chiefs going into a bye week. And this, to me, is the game of the year. This is the game of the year after the bye week. Week 13 against the Washington Commanders. D-Rock says, if healthy, I think we can overtake Houston. Yes, I think that's a good game. I think that's a coin toss. I think that's up in the air. I think Houston is up in the air. So Johnny said, what's up, D-Rock? I think Houston is up in the air. All right, let's go back. Washington Commanders. This is the game. You had the offensive rookie, the number 2 pick, and the offensive rookie of the year. And then you had Bo Nix, the 6th quarterback taken in the first round, and the runner-up. Bo Nix had, in some areas, Jaden Daniels had better stats and went further. Bo Nix had majority of better stats, but made it to the playoffs as well. So now you got these guys coming in year 2. Now, because of these guys, these 2, JJ, Penix, and Caleb, they're saying the 24 QB draft class could be one of the best draft class in history. And that includes 83 and I think, 2020. So right now I think it's 83, 20, and 2020, and 2024 could come in third. But you guys, it's an away game. So we're going to DC. All right, we're going to DC. Jaden Daniels. Now, here's the thing with the Washington Commanders. Noah Brown just got injured. He might be out for the season. Deebo Samuel is older, and he's on the decline, but he's got a new team. And you have Terry McLaurin, who's holding out, who wants a new contract, who's 30. On their defense, you have Marshawn Lattimore, Bobby Wagner, and then you have Zach Ertz. So you have their team and they just brought in who's the defensive tackle they just brought in? And they also traded for Larry Tunsil. So all their guys they're bringing in, different from the Broncos. Their guys are older, but healthy. Our guys are younger, but they built their team around older guys. So we're going to see if they can hold up throughout the season. Same with our guys. But I think this is the game. And this is prime time. You already know what it is. And I think Bo Nix versus Jaden Daniels. I think our defense is better than our offense, and I think our offense is better than our defense. I think we beat the Washington Commanders, so I got us at 10-2. Las Vegas game, I think we sweep the Raiders again. 11-2. Man. Packers at home. We've had the Packers numbers for the last few years. Man. Packers have a good defense. They have Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs always tears us apart. And they got a good receiving core. It's an NFC game. Because the Packers compete in the NFC North, I think by week 15, this win for the Packers will mean when the Packers will need this win more than we will. And I think coming off beating the Commanders and Raiders, I think we lose to the Packers. So I got us 11-3. 11-3. Jaguars aren't there yet. We're back at home. I think we're gonna have an excellent home record this season. Excellent home record. I think we beat the Jaguars. They're just not there yet. Travis Hunter gets to come back to Colorado, but they're just not there yet. Prime time, baby. Prime time Christmas game. Division game. Now, I said earlier we beat the Chiefs. I told you I think we sweep the Chiefs this year. I think this was prime time. It's going to be the Chiefs won at Christmas. We haven't beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead in almost a decade. I think we go and beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead on Christmas Day in prime time. We are 13-3. I think now the talk is about the division. Now there's one more game for us. This is for at what are we 13-3? At 13-3, there's a possibility we're competing for the one seed. We're competing for the division. We're competing for the one seed. This game right here, it's at home. It's to be determined because they may make it prime time. I said I think we split with the Chargers. 13-4. 13-4. I think we there's it. Awesome. Thanks, Johnny. Ha! Well done. 13-4. Let's we stayed with the Orange and Blue Network original prediction, even with the addition of J.K. Dobbins. I think 13-4 is right. I think some of those games like Houston, we could beat Houston, where I said we lose. Paul Schaefer comes in and says, I like the way you think. Thank you. Shout out. He said we matched up well against Packers on joint practices. Yes. We did. But like I said, with the Packers, I think if at that point where we're playing the Packers, where we're 11-2, I think the Packers competing especially because we have the Chiefs. We've already beaten the Chiefs and the Chargers and the Raiders. We've beaten the Raiders twice. The Chiefs and Chargers once. So at this point in time, going into the Packers game, we're 4-0 in the division. We're 4-0 in the division. I think the Packers playing against the Lions, the Vikings, and the Bears at that point in time are going to want some more wins. So coming in, what is that, a home game? In Denver. That's going to be very important to them. Now, we're not going to get blown out. We're not going to get beat, but I just think they're going to want it a little bit more in that Packers game. I think that's where that loss is going to come from. I think that Houston game, like D-Rock said, that's up to health. That's health on both sides of the ball. That's a playoff game. That is a playoff game, and so are these last two games of the year. These two games right here, I think the most important stretch is going to be – I think we have multiple stretches that are going to be important. The first, basically all of them. I really like the schedule this year because it's really balanced. I would say the first 2 weeks, because starting off hot, we haven't in the past. I'd say the first, okay, this stretch right here. The first 5 weeks. The first 5 weeks is important, that first stretch. Because that's should win playoffs. How good are you really? So it should win, hot start should win, playoffs and division. How good are you? And I think week 6 through 8, we get a break. Dallas Cowboys is a good competitive game, but that's also NFC. So we play the Jets, who's an AFC conference game in London. I think we beat them. I think we beat the Giants. I think we beat the Cowboys. But this is I wouldn't say a break, but it's a level of importance games aren't there. So the stretches are about level of importance. So we got the first 5 weeks, important stretch. We got the next 3 weeks, we kind of get a lull. Then we jump back into the AFC, playoffs, division. So we have 2 important. So week 1 through 5 is an important stretch. We get a lull, week 6 through 8. Then it's jumping again. Then we get week 9 through 11 is an important stretch. We get a bye week. Then coming out of the bye week, I would say after the bye week, this isn't an important stretch. You want to win the games, but this is more what? 2-2, 3-1 is okay. In this stretch, 3-1 is okay. Let me go back to the beginning so I can go. I gave the 13-4. Best case scenario is 13-4, but I want to go worst case scenario through these stretches. So worst case scenario, we should be 2-0. Worst case scenario for us in this stretch is 3-2. Now, these are the losses. If we're worst case scenario, we go 3-2. These are the acceptable losses: Cincinnati and Philadelphia. Those are the only acceptable losses: Cincinnati and Philadelphia. Since a divisional loss is not acceptable. The reason why I say 3-2 is these 2 losses: the Bengals, the Eagles. Eagles are NFC. They're the Super Bowl champs. That's expected. That's acceptable. The Bengals, these losses are not acceptable. The Colts is an AFC team, but we beat last year. I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted revenge because of that, but we're supposed to beat them. So the teams we're supposed to beat, it's unacceptable if we lose. We're not expected to win this game, so it's acceptable if we lose. The Bengals, good offense, but the Chargers, we cannot lose. So 3-2, worst case scenario. These we win the first 3 weeks, we lose the last 2. 3-2 in that first 5 weeks. That means we can only lose 2 more games throughout based on the prediction, but those stretches are important. Week 6 through 8, I expect to go 3-0. At worst, 2-1. If in the worst case scenario we go 3-2 and 2-1, at this point in time we're 5-3. That's fine. And then we go to this important stretch right here. These 3 weeks. These 3 weeks we need to go 3-0. At worst case scenario is 1-2. We lose to Houston and the Chiefs, and then we will be what, 6-5. We're playing it this. I think we're playing it too close to the vest, but I think best case scenario we go 3-0 in this stretch before the bye week. But 2-1 is acceptable. The only loss that's acceptable is to the Texans. The division games are unacceptable losses. We need to beat all division games have to be wins. All losses are unacceptable in the division. Going 2-1, worst case scenario is what are we? I said we were 6-4, so now that would make us 8-5. That's decent. 3-0 would make us 9-4, which is better. All right, so then we get back. So we have a lull in this stretch. So we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Packers, the Raiders, and the Commanders. At this stretch right here, this is the second lull. So division game, unacceptable. AFC, unacceptable. 2-2. Worst case scenario, 2-2. I think we can actually go 4-0. Now, I know I said we lost so to the Packers. So sticking to that prediction, I'm going to go 3-1. Bet 3-1 worst case scenario. We lose to the Commanders, but we lose to the Packers, but we beat everyone else. Now, this last stretch right here has to go 2-0. Week 17, week 18, we have to go 2-0. There's division games. No losses are unacceptable. No losses are acceptable. All right, guys, we are going to take a 30-second break, and then we are going to come back. And then we are going to do our travel itinerary. Now, Johnny said he made a new. All right, we are going to take a 30-second break, guys, and we are going to be back after this, and we are going to go over our travel itinerary. And that's where I want to hear from you guys about where you guys are going, what games you're going to, and what games we could possibly link up on, guys. We are going to be right back. I appreciate you guys' patience and bearing with me as we took our 30-second commercial break. Shout out to our sponsor, Dubby, guys. 13-4 dubs, so we celebrate with a W. Don't forget to go over there and type in NRWOB10. Shout out Dubby. All right, guys, we are going back at the top of the schedule, and we are talking about the games that I am going to. I know Johnny and I are going to, and we want to hear from you guys. You're going to the preseason games or what games you are going to. And this is where you guys in the comments are especially important, because who cares what games we're going to? Now, we will have we will do the Get Butt Game Day show, whether it be live or whether it be pre-recorded. That will be there. But what's more important is we want to network with you guys, because we want you guys on the show there. If we can link up and network with you guys, we can have you guys on the show, and that's what we want, because this is a fan-led podcast and a fan-led show. So week 1 will be in Denver. I will not be there. But week 2, the Mile High Viking and I will be in Indianapolis. Lord willing, we will be driving up to Indianapolis from Middle Tennessee to be about a 4-hour drive. I believe we're driving up there Saturday. And then we are going Saturday. We're going to enjoy Indianapolis Saturday, and then we're going to go to the game Sunday, and then probably going to drive back Sunday after the game because it's only a few hours. So that's why the Mile High Viking and I will be there. So stay tuned for that. We'll be putting out more information. So if any of you guys are going to be at the Indianapolis game, we want to hear from you. Paul Schaefer says, I can make the LA game versus Broncos, or maybe LA versus Broncos at home. Let's see. Johnny and I usually travel to a home game every year. But just in case we can't, that's why we're going to go to the Colts game, because the Colts game may be our home game. But we're going to go to the LA game. I try to make an LA game every year because I'm from LA and I try and go home and see family. So, Paul, that's potential. Stay tuned for that. And so keep me updated with your travel plans. And so I'll keep you updated with mine to see if I can make that Chargers game. Also, Adon, the 6'10" Mexican, Jay, the Denver Dream, will be with us at Indy as well. So you've already got 4 members of the Orange and Blue Network already being in Indianapolis. So it's going to be me, Johnny, Adon, and Jay so far at the Indianapolis game. So far we're going to have a heck of a Mega Day game show, and you guys are going to love it. Shai says, I see the Broncos going 14-3. I would love it if we went 14-3. All right, so now we got week 3. This is the week 3 game that Paul is discussing that he's going to be at. Now, Paul, if I'm going to the Colts game, I don't think I'll be at the Chargers game. Week 4, Cincinnati. Interesting. Week 5. Now, I try and go to at least one game a month. I don't think I'm going to any games in October. Very interesting. Now, the game in Philadelphia is in Philly. I may or may not actually decide to go up to Philly, and go see that. Go see that game. That's a far drive. That's another far. I have to see, but I think Ty is said he's going to the Philly game. He's possibly going to the Philly game. So Ty, who's on Broncos Talk, he can keep you updated with that and let you guys know his travel itinerary as well. I know guys from the DNVR have a package going where you can go to the London game. I won't be at the London game. Maybe I go to an international game one day. Back in Denver, week 7, we have the Giants. I won't be at that game. Dallas, week 8, I won't be at that game. Like I said, guys, you guys have to hit that notification bell. You guys just saw the schedule on the commercial break. So that way, each day, the guys are going to talk about the travel itinerary. So not just because I'm not going to these games doesn't mean someone else from the Orange and Blue Network isn't going to these games as well. So you're going to want to hear from all of us. And to see what games you're going to. Week 9 against Houston. I am planning on being at that game, getting there Saturday in Houston, going out to see the city Saturday, and then going to the game Sunday morning, and then flying back either Sunday or Monday. So I will be at that Houston Texans game. So if any of you guys are going, to the Houston Texans game, let me know and we can link up. Here's the Las Vegas Raiders game, week 10. That one's going to be prime time on Thursday. I will not be at that game. Week 11, Kansas City. The Chiefs, which we are going to win. I will not also be at that game. Week 12, the bye. I will be at that game. The week 12 bye, I'll be there. The Commanders, week 13, I am going to try and be at that game to go in D.C., primetime game, see the nightlife of D.C. on Saturday, go to the games, go to church Sunday, find me a good church to go worship to Sunday, and then go to the game in the evening. I will definitely be at that game. I think Ty is going to be at that game as well. So, guys, let us know what games you're going to be at. Week 14 against the Raiders. This one I am going to try to be at. My brother lives in Vegas, so I won't have to spend money on a hotel, but maybe we play the Vegas. My sister's she's on her sea tour, her sea whatever with the Navy, and so I won't be able to link up with her to go to that game, but me and my brother will be able to go. So let us know if you're going to go to that Vegas game. And then we have week 15 against the Packers. If this was in Jacksonville, I would have gone to the game, but it's not. It's in Denver, so I will not be at that game. This game, I may be at. Kansas City's not too far. I may decide that, that's a Thursday game, so I may or may not. I don't know. I may or may not be at that game. But, guys, that's the week 17 travel itinerary. So far I've got 4 games that I plan on being at. Indianapolis, Raiders, Commanders, Texans. So hopefully 4 wins. And when the uniform release is out, then we will see if we can match uniforms, what jerseys we're wearing, and all that stuff. But guys, we are getting ready to close out here. Thank you for coming to another episode of Orange and Blue Blitz Show. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening to wherever you are. We appreciate you coming in and tuning in. And remember, guys, because it is the off season and we have these 6 weeks, the Orange and Blue Blitz Show will not be every day, but it will be every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So the next time you guys will see me will be Wednesday at this time again. But while I'm not there, you guys aren't going to want to miss Broncos Bros tonight at 6 p.m. with Dak. Dak and his brother can tell you guys what games they will be at as well. So that way you guys can link up. So you guys are going to hit the notification bell for that. And then tomorrow you've got Johnny and Jay on the flagship podcast, Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue. Broncos talk at Wednesday, and then I will be back Wednesday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. But Broncos talk with Adon and Ty White will be there Wednesday at 6. And then Vivos Los Broncos, our Spanish podcast, they'll tell you what game they're going to Friday. Monday, I'll be there in the morning. Friday, Vivos Los Broncos will be able to tell you what games they're going to in Spanish because you'll be able to link up with the one, the only Bronco Libre. And guys, if you're at a home game, you've got to go link up with Vivos Los Broncos. And Johnny, we've got to see if we can do some giveaways because we've got to get some Orange and Blue Network swag out there. Because if we're going to be networking this year, we've got to get some swag. We may buy some and have some giveaways. So that way, in addition, Bronco Libre could have some Orange and Blue Network swag. And we'll have some when we go out there as well. We want some for you guys as well. So that's the type of network we want to be. And, use it as a gym shirt, use it as a wash rag, or use it for whatever you want. But we just want you to have it. So, guys, don't forget to go over to purchase some W with NRWOB10. And don't forget to tune in tonight for our show this evening. And if you are here from MHRT, go over to our YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Spotify and subscribe, share, and hit the follow button. Also, guys, if you are from Orange and Blue, go ahead over to MHRT and do the same thing to their YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. Guys, mile high salute. Don't forget to tune in tonight to the Orange and Blue Network. Hit that notification bell. I will see you guys again Wednesday. So, guys, mile high salute, and I will see you guys next time.